Hello everybody, my name is Bubbles S and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. In today's video, this will be a guide to the achievement Prussia of the Balkans. Let's begin, shall we? Also create an intelligence agency if you have the ability to. Do the standard electronic research, always nice and simple. Let's build some more military factories, we're going to need a lot of them. For the military factories we have, we're going to dump the motorised, put all into support equipment for now. When we have 250 support equipment in reserve, we'll switch around to guns. Also, make sure you buy the steel that you need. Let's buy from Germany for now. For the army that we have, let's gather it up, all 12 of them. And just put them on a fallback line and just exercise them until you have 5 experience points and then stop them. Now let's do the focus power to the Tsar, go to speed 5, and let's begin. Once your intelligence agency is created, start upgrading it so you get another spy. We will only do 5 upgrades for this. We need additional spies a bit later on. But anyway, that's power to Tsar done. Now of course we're going to do appoint right-wing ministers. Feel free if you like to promote this Nicola here to Field Marshal. He has brilliant strategist and organiser, so we can eventually give him logistics wizard, aggressive assaulter and offensive doctrine. Probably the best start in general in this game. Also with right-wing ministers done, we're going to make a slight detour to crush the communists, support the Zvenno, and then condemn the Imro. In an ideal sense, we'd like to do the focuses path towards Greater Bulgaria and depose the Tsar without having to hire a fascist demagogue of some kind. It is possible. But of course we may have to ban some of the alternative parties that exist in Bulgaria right about now. But honestly, considering the amount of political power that would cost anyway, I think it's fine. Now, with the non-aggression pact secured with the Soviet Union, for a little while at least, let's hope that stays around. We can always grab another one. Stop improving relations, and start building an internal network in Romania. Right, we've crushed the communists done, we will get rid of them without delay. Let's ban their media. Now, like I said, let's cooperate with the Zvenno. The broad socialists can do some events to continue to increase their communist support, which is annoying, but we can do things to get around it. There you go, now we're going to get some communist support again. That's 5. Most annoying, but we're going to go for the one that causes the most problems. But it's only for 15 days, so I'm not going to be too upset about that. When your spy reaches 100% Intel network, I'd recommend put them on by Intel network. No need to get them killed unnecessarily. Right, with the Imro condemned, we're going to make a quick stop at banning the Democratic Party. There we go. Now that gives us the support that we should need to get all the way down to depose the Tsar. Let's do this. We're going to also grab Bulgarian irredentism because we have to anyway. Also activate anti-Imro propaganda. It's always nice to have it taken care of. There we go, there's the broad socialist destroyed. Get some stability and political power, very good. Now let's work with our friends at the Zvenno. Could also have gotten rid of them too, but the Zvenno allows us access to Bulgaria's infantry expert. So I see it as worthy to keep them around. Should probably take the Zvenno's social directory because it gives more base stability. That's always nice. Admittedly, we are above the 30% threshold of the civil war when we depose the Tsar, but of course, stability gives more political power, factory output and the like. There's no harm in so. And now it's time to throw Boris out of this country. And there goes Boris, and now we have Mr. Stupid. So let's get rid of him with a military dictatorship instead. Obviously, we also will get unlimited war support from this, which I think is very good. With the Zvenno integrated, we'll work on next integrating the Agrarian Union. There's no need to crush anyone else really. The rest of them all have nice benefits, what they are. But also now that we do have the Zvenno integrated, let's hire ourselves an elusive gentleman, and we now have the 3 spies that we need. And there we go, military dictatorship. And we basically get limited conscription for nothing, so let's do the fate of the Balkans. There we go, there's the fate of the Balkans and towed artillery. Let's just grab some extra infantry equipment from that. Now to start, now that we've gotten fate to the Balkans, let's send an ultimatum to Romania. Oh, and what do you know, they refuse. Now let's send one to Albania. And they refuse, you could have seen that one coming. Don't worry, it's part of the plan. Now anyway, refuse your army restrictions. Yes, it increases world tension, but it's necessary for this. Now let's do some nationalist propaganda. Now improve your relations with Turkey, Yugo, and Greece. Next step will be to go into the recruit and deploy, make a new template of just 2 width infantry, and train up as many of them as you can. You can start with 101, we'll get more. Max priority, deploy, and then put them on a fallback line if you like. There we go. Now we'll just continue to integrate our factions, wait for our relations and army to be ready. But nationalist propaganda is useful also. This gives us more manpower for nothing. But as soon as these units are ready, deploy them, get the next ones out. Have them on just one run. That will be useful. With us also now fascist, go into the spy screen, put your main spy back on normal internet network, grab your other 2 spies and put them on boost ideology mission. Now already we have the ability to orchestrate a coup in Romania, so let us do so. We don't have the guns for it, but we can work around that. Select North Transylvania as your state and commence when ready. Romania will eventually do the focus of instituting a royal dictatorship, see they haven't done it yet, which will change around their fascist support. So when that happens, we'll send the spies back. But now we're going to send them away. Put the spy back on quiet until network, so they don't get captured. Nationalist propaganda done, we're going to allow far-right organisation, so that integrating the National Social Movement is just that little bit easier. Right, we've deployed 51 of our prep templates, so let's try and get some new friends. All of these nations seem to be okay with us, so let's send them an ultimatum. Nice, 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 they're all in. Next step, we'll subjugate just Yugoslavia and Greece. Why? Because Turkey's a bit more resilient. There you go, got them both. Now let's grab all of their templates and divisions, put them in our army, deploy a few more, and then we'll get Turkey. Ataturk, unsurprisingly, does not like the idea of being a Bulgarian puppet. Really put the pressure on, let's just send this massive army of ours to the Turkish border. There we go, that should do it. Let's subjugate the Turks. And there they go. Perfect. Right, the next step of the plan is a bit unorthodox, not something I really have done before. If you've watched a very old HOI4 guide, you'll understand what I'm doing. And if in the future this has been removed, I'd understand. But please do also understand that it exists at this point in time. So go to Italy, and as you can see, Italy likes you, get military access. There you go. Now with all our army, put them on area defence and only for victory points, and send them to every tile that Italy has cores on. Yep, we're going to order 66 the Italians. We need a few more units before we'll pull this off, but that's okay, we've got time on our side. The focus, and Bulgarian nationalism is always nice, but actually yeah, it's fine. Stability and war support, can't complain about that. With the Agrarian Union integrated, let us work on the National Social Movement. Right, we're completely out of manpower now, so not much we can do. We could change our conscription law, but I don't think it'll be necessary, so let's get rid. There we go. We'll wait for this last unit to show up and then we'll go. But as you can see, our units are all over Italy, and now you're wondering how are we going to get to war with Italy? That's simple. Albania. Albania is guaranteed by Italy, and now, in the past, you could have just declared war on Italy, and you could order 66 of them, as you see here, we have units in their territory, but this doesn't account for it. The guarantee will call in Italy, and we'll be able to get them. Watch this. There you go. Order 66. Now just work on going for victory points like Naples, Rome, Genoa if it hadn't already fallen, and Venice. You need most of the main victory points. Use the units that you have to spread out. They'll do that themselves, but also you could do that yourself if you must. And there you have it. We have Order 66'd Italy. Great. If you want, you should take Zara, Istria, and the Dodecanese directly. You could give them back to your puppets, but I don't care to. But for the rest, we'll just keep Italy as our puppet. Italy has been puppeted. And as you can see, Romania has done institute royal dictatorship, and now we've lost the fascist support, so all we have to do is get our units and spies back on propaganda and boost ideology. Mostly boost ideology, get them back to 20%, then it'll happen again. Now we are still at war with Albania, but that's okay. So we'll just gather up all our army, get rid of our rubbish templates, there we go. And we'll just send all of these to the Albanian border and get Zog. Beauty of this also is that we now have basically unlimited gun production, and I suggest that you go all in on the gun production. Buy Italy steel also means you don't have to spend too much on it. And feel free to prosecute some IMRO activists, always good. Just annex Albania, they're much better, directly controlled by us. And there we have it. We now have all the pieces that we need to get Prussia of the Balkans. The next step for us will just be annexing the countries and then releasing Turkey and declaring war on them. Now, Hungary wants in, but nah, we're going to declare war on Hungary later if we can. If you have more than 200 political power, feel free to do any of the bring back decisions. I have enough for all of them, which is good. There we go, nice. Now it's time for us to do Bulgarian integration of the Balkans. As you can see, Romania is guaranteed, but don't worry, we have ways around guarantees. There are many ways to get around them. There we go, our coup is underway. Very good, got exactly enough support, pull it off. Now, the coup's length is not as important to us. There's something much more important that can only be shown when the coup fires, and I think it's rather funny and interesting anyway. But in the meantime, feel free to continue to build up your army by stealing your puppets' troops, especially Italy's. I mean, don't use Italy's garrison templates, but still, the rest of them are relatively decent. I mean, that's an okay form of 7-ish too. But for the army that we have, put it all on your side of the Romanian border. Not part of Yugoslavia's, just your own. When this last factory is done, we will start building in Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia might eventually get declared war on by Germany, so it's worth for us to get rid of them as soon as we can. And with Bulgarian integration of the Balkans done, we will definitely grab restoring the Bulgarian Patriarch. That's very powerful for us. It's unlimited stability and gives a daily compliance gain so powerful, I think it should probably be nerfed. Look at that, 0.15 a day. You know how, like, in the Carlos video I had one where it was like 0.1? This is more powerful than that. Saving up some political power, so when it's the time we can integrate these new areas of Bulgaria, which includes Albania for some reason, but oh well. But that's also why we directly annexed Albania. We can get calls on them, and our compliance is already relatively good. But with this, we can core anything. Well, anything from the Balkans that we are allowed to core, that is. But I will make one exception. Let's go to war economy. Just means you have a few more factories that speed up the annexing of Yugoslavia, because annoyingly, none of the Fate of the Balkan puppets that we have are our rights commissariats, our right protectorates, which means we can annex Italy in one go, but we can't annex the rest of them in one go. So we have to get them down from puppets to integrated puppets. It's okay, but tedious. And now let us do the Third Bulgarian Empire, because it gives us some free civs and mills. There we go, there's our coup. And now here's where the interesting bit comes in. Look at that, a different form of Fate of the Balkans has appeared for the other Romania. So I think we should send an ultimatum to them. There you go, now they're in here. Now you're thinking, but isn't Romania still guaranteed? Yes, they are, but we can join this civil war, and it completely bypasses. There we go, we've finally been allowed in. Now just help them win their war as soon as possible. And there we go, we saved them. Now, as soon as we can, which is around 20th December, we're going to kick them out of this faction. So the next step is just to put your units back on the fallback line at the start of Bulgaria itself. The beauty of this is we've gotten rid of their guarantees. So Romania is ripe for the picking. And yes, this is a rare sight, I'm sure for some of you. This is the default leader for Romania's fascist leader, Octavian. Even though he wasn't the actual leader for the Iron Guard at this time. Apparently Paradox is working on something like that. Implement the true leader of the Iron Guard. Yes, I've also researched new guns, so maximise your production of them too. And now here's something even more interesting. We can now core all of these territories. Let's do it. The more cores we have, the more civilian factories we can gain, as you can see here. Some of these states do have civs, and so the quicker we can annex our puppets. And Third Bulgarian Empire, which I think is one of the earliest ones I have ever gotten. And for now, let's integrate the Ratniks. Recruitable population factor plus 35% is very powerful. There we go, a few days late, but we can now kick Romania from the faction, and now justify a war goal for Zabruzhia, as it will only take 70 days. Don't worry, no other fascist will protect them at this point. So get a front line only on your border, and just do a front line all the way into Romania. There we go. We have a nice national spirit here. It gives us war goal justification time minus 25%, so it's even better. And to really cap it off, we'll send back our spies. Experienced Romanians they are now. And there you go, for some weird reason, I now have a core on Albania. And our puppet Italy is now influenced on our politics, because of course they are. But for focus now that we've done integrate the Ratniks, we're going to go all the way down to utmost optimization. Decreasing consumer goods. Now yes, temporarily we'll have an increase of it, but eventually we'll have a minus 2%, which is, in my opinion, worth it. Then again, this path gives us civilian factories anyway. But there's our justification on Romania, but before we start, get one on Hungary as well. Now let's declare war. This should be very easy. Romania's army is nowhere as good as it once was. And there we go, just pass a few times and annex Romania. There we go. And the beauty of this is that we now have Bessarabia. I tried this in another way and it completely failed because Romania gave away Bessarabia. Very annoying, but oh well. Now we have it. And luckily, as you can see here, Bulgarianization of the Balkans extends. So we can eventually call Romania as well. Which I heavily suggest that you do. Means that again you get more civs, and so you annex the nations that you need to annex quicker. Luckily now we only need to directly annex 3 of them, and eventually it should steamroll. We're building so many guns, and they're up-to-date guns at that. What? Why does Franco have volunteers still? The Civil War ended years ago. It's timeline. There you go, our justification is ready. Let's go and get Hungary. Having Hungary means there can be no sort of shenanigans from them wanting their quote-unquote former territories that they deserve. And let's just annex Hungary. There we go. That'll give us some cores eventually. But speaking of cores, look, there we go. For sure, we can core parts of Romania. And since they have nowhere else to go, I'll just put our units on the Soviet border. Not expecting them to come after Bessarabia, but you never know. You never know. Finally, time to integrate a little bit Yugoslavia, and now we'll see just how good our guns are. Let's send all the carabiners to start, all of those, and then all of these, because there's a lot of them. Finally, the convoys and support equipment. 900? That's okay. Not the full 1500 that it could be, but then again, They're building guns continuously. Continue to send Yugo your guns and everything. They'll still give good amounts of autonomy reduction. In this instance, it's 80, which is a few months worth. Now I've got an utmost optimization done. And now, so I'm going to work down towards Bulgarian shipping charter, so Black Sea Fleet. The shipping charter gives us cheaper trade convoys, and then after that we're going to expand the Varna base and develop Burgos shipyards. Both give us more dockyards, and then eventually we'll be able to get more convoys. The more convoys we have, the easier it is to annex, of course. I'm sure many of you know that. If you want to help China or anything, feel free, but I see no need. Time to annex Yugoslavia. There we go. I've already started working on Greece. They shouldn't be too problematic. I'll send them Greece most of my convoys to start, and then once they're an integrated puppet, it'll be the guns. It's already a few hundred autonomy points. Right, let us annex this Hellenic state. There they go. You know what, I'm feeling particularly cheeky today. Let's also grab Italy before we move on to Turkey. This means we can have a Roman-Bulgarian empire like Ferdinand wanted, and we'll get Italy's fleet for good measure. Full fleet, as it has not had a single ship destroyed by the Royal Navy yet. Right, time to annex Benito. Oh, that is a nice looking Bulgarian empire. Now let's gather up this entire fleet. Oh, that's big. Quite some of the best ships in the world at the time, I'm sure. Now, of course, just time to get rid of Turkey. Really, the main problem now is just getting our political power back up. Time for Turkey to come closer to us. Now, of course, send them everything else. Minus 3,000 autonomy points. You know what, that might be a bit overkill, but I like it. Very well, once again it is time to annex a country, and this time it's the final country. There we go. Now this doesn't complete Prussia of the Balkan, no. But it makes it a hell of a lot easier. For a moment I'm just going to reorganise this army. There we go. There we go. Much well organised. Now let's release the Turkish Empire, fully independent. There we go. Now, the question is, which is the easiest way for us to get a war goal? Get a war goal of 90 days here. Guardians of the Balkans will give us it in 70, so we're going to do it like Guardians of the Balkans. What we're going to do next is prepare for our war against Turkey. So we're one army, we're going to have a front line like this and assign the first 3 armies to it. There we go. Now down here we have some other armies that we will use purely attack from. Like these ones will attack from the Dodecanese, for instance. So, just prepare for war. The other fascist nations shouldn't get involved with Turkey's shenanigans. We're pretty safe for that. And as you can see also, Turkey has no guarantees, which is great. Turkey, I think you've missed the point. I really think you've missed the point. Right, Turkey, time for you to die again for some reason. And there we go, that should do it. You know what, since we would likely have gotten the achievement anyway, let's create one new puppet out of Kurdistan and give them what they want, a coastline. There we go, and we'll take the rest. There we go. And that should conclude the achievement run for Prussia of the Balkans. We capitulated Turkey while controlling the rest of the Balkans, including Greece. Yes, this is a bit of a cheeky way to do this, but oh well, this game is a bit cheeky in itself with all the AI bonuses and everything, so I feel no recourse in doing so. Bulgarian integration of the Balkans should eventually allow us to core all of the Balkans. Got pretty far in that. And yes, you can core all the way up to Istanbul, which I think is weird, but whatever. if you wanted to do this a slightly different way, if you did this via a post-royal dictatorship, you could still get down to Fate of the Balkans, but you could eventually have chosen to flip communist. As you can see here, I did power to the Tsar, which means I can't. But if you did it that way, you'd be able to do Balkan Problem Solved. But yeah, that's it. We got the achievement, we got basically a Roman Empire in a way. I'm sure Ferdinand would be proud of us. So until next time everybody, this has been me, Bubbles Zest. Thank you for watching, I do hope you've enjoyed it. Leave any suggestions for future videos in the comments below, always looking for new ones. And goodbye.